The white settlers weren't the first to realize the abundance of Anacortes. Native peoples had lived here for thousands of years.
This particular place is called Lone Tree Point by the tribes. It's almost like a sacred place for us because that for thousands of years this is where the fish school up. Deception Pass is to the left of us here, and a lot of the salmon that head up towards the Skagit River, which is to the south of us here, they come and school up in here and they mill around for quite a while they're eating and gaining their strength to head up the Skagit River to get ready to spawn. And it's an opportunity to do what we did for thousands of years from time immemorial is the name that we call ourselves are the salmon people. We built our whole cycles around the salmon. When the fish were running, that's all we did was fish. You know, we didn't do anything else. So it's like when the salmon are running from June to November and December. This is what we did. And then towards the winter time, after the fish got running in November, December, that's when the weather started getting cold and everything. That's when we retreated to our longhouses and paid attention to took care of our spiritual needs. We had our ceremonies, telling of our family histories, the myths and the legends that had moral value for our young people. And everything we did was spiritual. The gathering of food was spiritual. We always thanked the salmon. We always thanked the deer. We always thanked the elk. We always thanked the clam and the crab for helping provide for us, you know.
Spaniards were the first white men to explore the region.
Carrasco, sailing under orders from Quimper, sailed north from near the Port Townsend area, sailed past Deception Pass, named it Boca de Flan, and continued to sail probably as far north as the opening to Guaymas Channel. The Spaniards first named the strait that is presently Rosario Strait, Boca de Fidalgo. The name Fidalgo was eventually applied to Fidalgo Island.
The Spanish came to visit rather than to stay. Not so the next wave of immigrants, the Americans and the Europeans. The newcomers needed a little help from the locals.
Well, at first when the white man came out here, he was pretty helpless. He didn't know the ways of the Northwest. One of the outstanding aspects of the people here in the Northwest is wanting to be good neighbors. We're a peaceful people. So we supplied the salmon for the early settlers so that they could survive the winter. And we showed them how to live here, you know. So we helped each other out. We were grateful for the goods that they brought out, especially iron, you know, and the tools. So although we are still very traditional people, I would say that we're not averse to progress.
The salmon created a great deal of wealth in Anacortes, but wealth is a relative term.
The tribes here in the Northwest have been determined by the anthropologists to be the most complex and the most wealthy tribes in North America. Why? Because the superabundance of salmon. Your wealth is determined by food, having a steady source of food for the main fact, and is that since we knew how to catch the salmon, we knew how to preserve it. It also lasted us, you know, during the winter when the fish weren't running.
White settlers who attended native potlatch ceremonies were surprised to see the Indians giving away their wealth, their salmon.
You know, when they saw Indians giving their wealth away, it violated every principle that they had. You know, for the non-Indian, the wealth was meant to be hoarded, put in away, so it's just only who benefits is them and their immediate little family. But they didn't realize that the tribal people had their own economic development system set up, having to deal with a perishable item. When our wealth was in salmon, if you're going to hoard salmon, it's going to spoil and no one's going to get the benefit of it. So if I give some salmon to you, it's like a debt. You owe me, and then later on you pay me back, maybe with clams or crabs. And so it's kind of a give and take relationship we always remembered. You can only have a complex society that develops laws and has spirituality when you have wealth, when you have idle time on your hands to delve into those philosophical, spiritual, and traditional aspects of your life. And so our people were extremely wealthy here, so it made us extremely complex and extremely happy people. One anthropologist I read in a study said it took a Native American man 19 hours a week to support his family in a good way. And we're saying, okay, now what does it take today to support a family? 80 plus hours, a husband and wife both working to support their family. And I would say, and you call us primitive.